right now, in the world of artificial intelligence, there's an all-out war for the top spot. We've got four major players: OpenAI, Google, Anthropic, and Perplexity. And they've all unleashed these incredible models, each one claiming to be the smartest, the most creative, the absolute best. But who's actually telling the truth?
So that's the big question, isn't it? We're going to cut right through all the marketing hype and the fancy benchmarks. We want to find out which of these AI tools really performs the best in the real world. Let the showdown begin. Here's how we're going to break it down. We're putting them head to head in 3 intense rounds: coding, creative writing, and research. Then we'll get into the price of all this power. And by the end of this, you'll know exactly which AI is the right one for you.
All right, first things first, let's meet the contenders. And, these aren't just lines of code. Each one has its own personality, its own real strengths.
So in this corner, we have the reigning champ, ChatGPT. You can think of it like that brilliant all-around teacher you had. It's famous for its powerful reasoning, it's incredibly versatile, and it's got this huge ecosystem of plugins that let it do just about anything you can throw at it.
Next up, we've got Gemini, which is basically the brain of Google. Its superpower? Deep, deep integration with everything Google. Plus, it has this massive 1 million token context window. Just think of that as its short-term memory. It makes it an absolute monster for analyzing huge documents, like entire books or massive code bases, all in one go. And then there's Claude, the thoughtful philosopher from Anthropic. Now, Claude was built a little differently, with this unique constitutional AI idea. The main focus is on safety and producing answers that are neutral, ethical, and feel incredibly human. This is the AI you go to when you need nuance. And finally, we have our specialist, Perplexity. See, it's not trying to do everything. Instead, it's laser-focused on being a dedicated answer engine. It's like a diligent research assistant whose only job is to give you accurate, up-to-date, and perfectly sourced answers straight from the web. All right, let the games begin. For our very first round, we are heading into the coding coliseum. Programming is one of the toughest tests for any AI. It requires pure logic, precision, and a really deep understanding of some seriously complex systems. And the buzz among developers online has been building around one AI in particular. Just like this Reddit user says, when it comes to programming, Claude is simply the best at it. But, okay, let's see how they all really stack up.
Okay, so here's where Claude's real strength shines. It doesn't just spit out code. It's amazing at explaining the why, the logic behind it all, which is honestly a game changer if you're a developer who's still learning. ChatGPT is a really close second, a total powerhouse for complex problem solving. And Gemini? It's a reliable workhorse, but it just can't quite keep up with the other two in this specific arena. And the verdict from developers is in. For its super clean code, its brilliant explanations, and its ability to solve real-world problems, the champion of the coding coliseum is Claude. Yeah, this might surprise some people, but for the pros, it's a pretty clear win. Okay, on to the next round, the Creative Writing Championship. And here, we're not just looking for perfect grammar, we're looking for style, for nuance, for that ability to write with a real human touch. And what do you know? Once again, the chatter online is incredibly strong for one AI. This user says it's not even close. Let's find out if the performance really matches that reputation. And the differences here are pretty stark. Claude is it's in a league of its own. It can adopt a really sophisticated tone and even learn your personal writing style over time. Gemini is fantastic for that polished, professional content. ChatGPT has a great, easygoing conversational feel. Oh, and for a very specific niche, we gotta mention another player, Grok. If you need humor or wit, it's actually surprisingly good. But when it comes to serious writing, the kind that needs nuance, professionalism, and style, there is just no contest. Taking the crown for the second round in a row, the champion is Claude. Wow, 2 wins for Claude. Can it pull off a clean sweep? Well, it's time for our final and maybe most critical battle, the research rumble. In this round, we are testing for accuracy, up-to-date info, and the ability to pull together complex topics with reliable sources. Make stuff up here, and you're disqualified. For this round, a different name comes into the ring, and it's got a pretty fearsome reputation. When it comes to finding factual, sourced information on the web, users all seem to agree. Perplexity is king. But this round is a bit more complicated. The best tool really depends on what you're trying to do. For quick, accurate web searches with crystal clear citations, Perplexity is the undisputed specialist. But if you're trying to analyze a 1,000-page report, Gemini's giant context window is unbeatable. And for those really deep dives into niche academic or business topics, ChatGPT's deep research feature is just in a class of its own. So which AI do you actually use the most? Let me know down in the comments. So, this round doesn't really have a single winner. It totally depends on the mission. Perplexity is hands down the champion for fast, factual web research. But for its sheer power in tackling the most complex, in-depth topics you can imagine, the winner of the Deep Research Rumble is ChatGPT. So, we have our champions. But what does all this incredible AI power actually cost? Let's break down the pricing. Because honestly, for a lot of us, this is the final deciding factor. The magic number in the AI world, it seems, is about $20 a month. This is pretty much the standard price for most of the Pro or Plus plans that give you access to the most powerful models from ChatGPT, Claude, and Perplexity. Now, while all of these guys offer a free version, the real power gets unlocked at that $20 price point. Of course, for power users and businesses, there are advanced tiers with even more capabilities, but they come with a much steeper price tag. The key takeaway, though, getting access to top-tier AI is surprisingly affordable. We've seen the battles, we know the cost. So what's the final verdict? Well, the truth is, there isn't one single best AI. The real goal is to find the perfect AI partner for your specific needs. So let's just summarize it all. If you're a power user who needs a versatile tool for deep research and complex problem solving, ChatGPT is your champion. If you're a developer or a writer who absolutely demands the highest quality and a human touch, Claude is your go-to. If you live and breathe in the Google ecosystem or you need to analyze massive documents, Gemini is the perfect fit. And if you just want fast, accurate, sourced answers to your daily questions, Perplexity is the best research assistant you could ever hire. But before you dive in, there's one final, really crucial point. These tools are incredibly powerful, but they are not perfect. They can still make mistakes, they can still hallucinate information. So the golden rule is always think critically and double-check any important facts before you rely on them. So after this whole showdown, which AI is your champion? Is it the all-rounder ChatGPT, the thoughtful Claude, the document master Gemini, or the research specialist Perplexity? Let us know which one you're picking in the comments below. And hey, if you want to stay ahead of the curve on the future of AI, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. Thanks for watching.